Hello, welcome to the Trophy Trust, your weekly podcast for PlayStation Trophy Hunters. I'm one of your hosts, The Dazil. Joining me this evening, we have The Vectronic.
Hello.
We have SSG Punish.
What's going on, guys?
And joining us for the first time, we have Max654.
Actually, the second time.
Oh, was it actually the second time? Well, first time for me.
Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah, you were never there the last time, so that's my second time, and I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Okay, then his second time, but first time on with me. Right. Okay, guys, how's everyone this week?
Oh,
Doing good.
Yeah, been plenty busy
Doing
with
excellent.
video games. Excellent. Well, first thing we need to talk about straight away is Patreon shout out. I'd like to just take a moment to do a shout out to Dan and to Justin as well on the Discord server. They've supported us recently on Patreon, and from me and from all of us here on the podcast, just a big thank you. As you know, the podcast is non-profit. We do this because we're passionate about video games and trophy hunting, but it costs to host the show on the server to get it onto iTunes and SoundCloud. So yeah, supporting us and keeping the show live, keeping all the episodes up for people to download. So thank you very much, guys.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That is.
And hopefully it encourages other people to support us as well. You can support us for as little as $1 a month, and it keeps us going.
Yep.
Which is awesome.
Woo! So let's get on with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
appreciate it, guys.
Let's talk about what we've been playing this week. So I'll tell you what, let's kick off with Max first. Max, what have you been playing recently?
Not really much. I think so. I'm not sure, but I haven't played that much games.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been pretty much focused on my job, of course, and also doing a bit of language stuff. Learning a bit more my language, local language, after the job, a few hours. Then after that, I had the time to play video games. And when I've been outside home, I've been pretty much keep playing some those small mahjong games. No, I get an easy 100%. Trophies, and I've been starting to play Dead by Daylight, which is one multiplayer game.
That's Dead by Daylight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
Which you have four survivors who needs to just two survivors who need to escape from a closed area. And of course not get killed by the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how are you finding that?
I haven't found it. What do you mean?
I mean, like, how are you finding the game? Like, are you enjoying it?
Actually, I got the game. I played the game first on PC because I have friends that encouraged me to buy it and play it. And I can say that I did enjoy it in the first time because it was known to be buggy, unbalanced. So I raged so hard because I didn't know how to play it well. So I died. I was playing a survivor all the time, not a killer. So I've been dying. So I gave up about the game. And like a year later, I decided to give it a second chance and to buy it again but on PS4 this time, and there it looks like way better.
Okay.
The game seems now better than what it was a year ago.
Do you think you're going to put the effort in to get all the trophies and go for a platinum? I'm assuming it has a platinum trophy, right?
Yes, of course, a platinum trophy. For the platinum trophy, I'm not sure about it. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I'm playing to have all the priorities in life. So I'm not sure if I will dedicate myself to get all the trophies in Dead by Daylight.
Real life getting in the way of the video games, huh?
I'm not sure yet. I still love video games, but I think I would dedicate less time on video games and dedicate on other projects.
Well, looking at the trophy guide here for Dead by Daylight, according to PlayStationTrophies.org, it's a 7 out of 10 difficulty with skill dependent, 100 hours plus.
Now, of course, because this game, of course, requires a lot of course, it's a multiplayer, so you can expect some luck and some kind of skill, you know.
Yeah,
skill and luck.
Definitely seen this. It's all online trophies as well, which is, as we've mentioned many times before, the online trophies are the.
It's all public. It's all you need to play all the time. Public matches, not private. It's always public.
That sounds awful.
Depending, you know, I platinum Overwatch. I have platinum Overwatch completely legit in online game, not boosting. So I'm proud of it. So that's I will see if I manage to platinum Dead by Daylight if I dedicate time with it.
Okay, well, best of luck with that then, for sure.
And lastly, I've been proceeding Evolve. It's another 4 vs 1 game. I won't talk too much about it. But anyway, I've been proceeding the game with one of my close friends and boosting the game, and I am on the verge to get the platinum trophy. So,
woo!
And what game was that? Sorry,
Evolve. It was being, you know, it has been a game hyped, but the game is pretty much not empty, but it would take a little while to find players online. It just, you know, it's just a hyped game that just died over his hype.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that does happen. Okay then, well, if that's all you've been playing, we'll move on to the next person. Punish, you've been quiet so far. Let's pull you in the spotlight.
Oh, I've been playing a ton of games. My first one was I finally got the platinum for Mass Effect. I ended up putting in 77 hours into it, 78 hours into it.
Mass Effect, the first Mass Effect.
The very first one. Yep, it is it's a grind because of several particular trophies. You have to complete all the main quests and all the side quests. Well, a majority of the missions with specific squad mates. So you're continuously having to restart the game to play with those squad mates. And also playing it on hardcore and insanity, it takes a little bit longer because the enemies are scaled to your level. So there's no more advantage, even if you're playing New Game Plus.
Okay.
So literally, a fight that could take 2 to 3 minutes would take 20 because all the enemies have all the immunity boosts. They have all the shield boosts and things like that. So you're sitting there loading clip after clip after clip onto an enemy, and they just won't die.
So did you have to dust off the old PS3 for that then, eh?
Yes, I did. I was coming up on my 25th platinum, and I wanted to make it a memorable one. And I have played Mass Effect through so many times, but I've never beat it. I've never beaten it on Insanity before. And I never went through and kept playing that playthroughs over and over and over again with all the squad mates. And I never went Renegade either. I always played as a Paragon character. So it was definitely it was really enjoyable because I got to see a lot of different interaction between the characters that I normally didn't get to see because I always played with the same squad. Mm-hmm. And then I also got to see some of the funny lines that Shepard said as being a renegade. He walking around telling everybody to kiss his ass and things like that.
I'm just looking at the platinum rarity of it here on PSN profiles. And despite it being quite an old game, it's still quite a very rare platinum. I mean, on the PSN profiles registered users rarity, 6.84, which is quite rare for that community.
Yeah, and most people don't know the first Mass Effect was Xbox exclusive.
Yes,
it only came out on Xbox 360, and then
I remember.
they released the Mass Effect trilogy a number of years back, and this was the first time that people with PlayStation 3s were able to play the first game. So, and plus, like I said, it's a fun grind, but it's a long grind to play all those same missions over and over and over again. until the trophies pop for that particular squad mate. And then you also have to take into account, you have to replay the game as 3 different classes. You have to play as a soldier, an adept, which is the biotic power one, and an engineer, which can do all the tech abilities, because you have to get the trophies on all the abilities too. Unlike Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, where you can just use your squad mate's ability to get that trophy. In this one, you have to be that class.
Oof.
Oh well.
That reminds me like that. Matter of fact, reminds me like that. Dead Rising. Who remembers that Dead Rising, the first one, was ever since only on Xbox,
Yes.
and it eventually came on PS4 after 10 years. Like, after 10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes me laugh. So yeah, I find it so funny when people say exclusive, but you know.
Yeah.
It's not more exclusive when he appears another generation later.
Yeah, unless it's like actually funded or developed by a first-party studio, it's usually open to other platforms in the future.
It's probably a matter of time until Bayonetta 2 comes with the platform.
Well,
Yeah.
not too sure.
Not too sure about that one.
Yeah.
It was funded by Nintendo, so. But
So
exactly.
so doesn't know the difference. No difference.
So is that all you've been playing, Punish, or?
No, I mean, I went ahead and because it was February 1st and because we just started our trophy hunting league,
Woo!
I went ahead and platinumed Her Majesty's Spiffing last night, which was a really fun game.
yes, it is.
It's very funny. I mean, I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I don't think it's worth the $20 for a 45-minute to 1-hour game. But if you really take the time to walk around and explore the ship and try like the different choices and options and things like that, it's definitely really funny. And the graphics too are amazing as well.
Yeah,
Which game already?
Her Majesty's Spiffing.
Okay, I don't know this game on us. So.
It's kind of like a kind of point and click, really, but it's a very short experience, and the voice acting is really good in it, and the humor's really good as well. Some really
they make fun of all the countries, like they're making fun of the British and the French and Americans and things like that. It's really, I mean, it's not bad humor. It's just stereotypes that are common among certain countries. So I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but sometimes stereotypes can be facts. So stereotypes shouldn't be taken as
little
like bad, like all negative. Not all stereotypes are negative.
Right.
Sometimes they are facts.
It's a very light comedy. The game it's really good. It's really goofy, and the visuals are really nice as well. But I guess that's it being such a short game. I guess they had a lot of time to polish up what visuals they do have in it. But that's a really easy platinum trophy, and I got it on sale. So, but yeah, I agree. The normal asking price for it can be a little steep, but if it's ever on sale, I do recommend it. It's really good.
I recommend it to everybody. Really good game. And then I also platinumed 36 Fragments to Midnight. That took me 15 minutes, 16 minutes. I got really lucky. It was like my 4th or 5th playthrough. I was able to do the speed run. I got it under 6 minutes. And then I just went through and did the cleanup. I collected 36 and killed myself, and collected 35 and killed myself, and so on and so forth.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I did platinum the game too. I first made it on Vita. The frame was so bad and the lag of input, so I did pretty much stronghold a bit. But I made it in. First, I made the Vita Platinum, in a little bit in an hour. And then I did a PS4 version when it came out, and I made it in 40 minutes. So I beat my time for the platinum.
I can relate to the Vita version because I've only done it on the Vita, and it is a little bit laggy, and the the controls are a little kind of there is a delay.
The PS4 version is 60 FPS. The reaction are immediate. So
yeah, I did mine on the PS4. So
is it two separate trophy lists or is it just one? Because I've never
it's
bothered
just
looking.
one because when you buy it on the PS4, the Vita download automatically pops up in your download list. So it shows you that it's the same. Yeah, it's a cross buy.
Two platinums for the price of one.
Yeah. So, and then I downloaded Orc Slayer last night. I was playing that last night. I was hoping to platinum last night.
Seriously?
But I got all the 100 kills and all that fun stuff, but I got to level 7 and it kept glitching on me. Like I even restarted my PlayStation. I tried everything, and then finally I was actually in voice chat with Beck when this was happening.
Yeah.
So I guess at the end game was like a terrible experience despite the platinum.
No, I'm gonna finish the platinum today. I'm actually going to do it once we're done with the podcast. I'm going to go ahead and go for the platinum and finish that up.
You start that game and you think, oh, this is going to be okay. But then as it goes on, it gets the performance gets worse and worse. And for me,
horrible.
Yeah, the final boss actually glitched. The final boss is supposed to be really pretty easy, but the hit detection glitched on it, and I was on the final boss for about an hour. I was slashing and slashing away, and then I think in the end I just switched to I can't remember. Is it melee or something? I had to do it with another weapon or. I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to quit the game. I didn't want to quit it out and lose my progress at that final level because the last level was really long to get to the final boss, and I did it eventually. But yeah, that game is rough, really rough.
Yeah. So I'll platinum to that today, and after I rage quit that, I went ahead and started up my Dragon Ball game, and I played that for about 15-20 minutes, but I was still pissed off about Orc Slayer, so I just turned off my PlayStation.
I know.
Was still Fighter Z really amazing game.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. Like I said, I played it for only about 15-20 minutes. I went through the tutorial mode and things like that.
And you already love it.
And I already knew I was going to love it just based off the reviews. But I mean, it's a fabulous game. It's honestly one of the best fighting games I've played in a long time.
And probably I think it's the best looking Dragon Ball game.
Period. Yeah. Oh yeah, the visual.
Because I remember I was in the trailer, and I was like, oh my fucking god! Sorry, the language.
No worries.
I thought to myself that this is the closest to the anime. So.
No, it's closest to the manga.
Like anime.
More so the manga. If you see the panels, it replicates 1-in-1 each page. So they were really akin to detail. So
sorry if I'm not familiar with the franchise and the mangas themselves.
No worries.
I guess technology, gaming tech, has come forward so much that we can now, for example, an example would be South Park. The technology of consoles and gaming have come forward so much that we can now replicate the visual style of the TV show, and the same goes for the Naruto game.
The same for Cuphead.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. It's so amazingly.
Rayman Origins and Skullgirls Encore. Those games look beautiful.
The same, yeah. Rayman Legends in Origin, they're just masterpieces. Oh, I love these games.
Yep, but
okay. So, Punish, is that everything you've been playing this week?
That's everything I've been playing. Yep, and you guys will see me platinum a lot of games this month because of the Trophy Hunting League. Go Vicious and Delicious.
All right, Vic, how about you? I'm sure you're eager to tell us what you've been playing.
Nah, I've just been continuing off with my Fist of the North Star game. I platinumed that game last night.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
Yeah. Oh my god, I was so tired afterwards. So, final thoughts on the game. It's a really fun Warriors type game. The dream campaigns were less annoying than what I originally thought. They're 4 or 5 mission type campaigns that are akin to the more traditional warrior style game play. So it's not as difficult, and it doesn't last too long. It's 10 to 20 minutes each per mission, and that is if you equip the right stats on them. The game itself, well, it was fun. It was a good time waster for like 60 hours. Um, final thoughts is like some trophies were really, really, really. How should I say this? Will go back to play them. I'll emphasize on those when I get to them. But in the end, if you find a copy of Fist of North Star 1 on PS3, go get it. It's only physical, so I highly recommend it for my tastes. So
It's not it's not overly rare in terms of platinum on PSN profiles either. I'm just looking at it here. It's like 26%. I think it was when I first up 26.49. It is quite an old game though, isn't it? 2010, I think, isn't it?
Correct, and that in the game itself, it's not difficult. It's just grindy, and I'll get to that when I get to that. But yeah, it took me like a week and a half, 9 days to plat that game. So take that as you will.
Okay. Is that all then?
Yeah, that's the only thing I've been playing this week. And I'll pick up something else along the way. So for
short and sweet
week.
then.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that leaves me then. I'll quickly go through a few of the smaller ones I've been playing. I played that Energy Invasion game, which is kind of like a
game.
Brick Breaker, Space Invaders sort of thing.
I got it too, but I haven't played it yet. I just bought it because it was damn cheap.
It was fine. I managed to bash through it in no time at all, about 6 hours. But that's I completed it within a day. Sorry, I was reading my PSN profile thing. I didn't play it for 6 hours. I think I did it in about 2 hours. I just played it one session in the morning and then one in the evening, and I did it within a day. Perfect Angle I played as well. I kind of liked that game. It was okay. It's in games you sometimes get like optical or perspective illusions where you have to line the camera up perfectly and it'll make like a shape or an object. It's basically an entire game of those puzzles, which it's novel at first. There's 104 of these puzzles in the whole game, and after about 50 I was like, oh, I am done with this game already.
I don't know why I love puzzle games, depending how it's made.
Well, it's well made in terms of the actual puzzles. Some of them are really clever, but I had to use a video guide for some of them because some of these solutions you don't even know what you're looking for. And I just bashed through it quickly after like level 50 because I was just sort of had enough. I actually played most of it through remote play on PS Vita, which was a mistake because the Vita's tiny little thumb analog sticks just make the camera shoot round. The camera sensitivity in that game is just really over the top already on PS4 controller, but with them tiny analog sticks on Vita, it just makes the camera spin really quickly, and it's just a real chore trying to get the camera to line up. But there's a little bit of leeway. The game kind of corrects it for you, and it's fine. It's a cheap game. It was like £7 or something. It's like an easy platinum. It's like ridiculously common platinum amongst trophy hunters anyway. But yeah, it's fine. I've platinumed Assassin's Creed Origins. I really liked it.
Congrats.
Oh, congratulations on that one.
Yeah, 70 hours it took me. The platinum popped just after the final story mission. Like, basically, story mission was done, ending cutscene, brings you back to the main map for the cleanup if you need to do it. Yeah, popped in because I did all the locations. I did a whole bunch of side missions. I did say I wanted to clear the map, like last episode or the episode before. I said I wanted to get it all done, but I didn't end up doing all the side missions because by the time I cleared like almost all the map, I was already max level 40, and I was over leveling, and I was just crazy OP by that point. Like, because once you reach level 40, you can still level up, so to speak. You earn ability points, for your skill tree, so you can just over level this certain abilities to just add like a percentage increase of damage to either your arrows or your melee attack. And I was just putting all of my extra points into melee, so I was just crazy powerful by the end of the game. Plus, there's no difficulty trophy, so I was just playing it on easy anyway, which I want to say it seems to be a thing with Ubisoft games, like for Far Cry, for example, and this recent Assassin's Creed, at least. They don't really bother with difficulty trophies, which is great. There's loads of like difficulties. You've got nightmare mode, but you can just have a real casual time and get the platinum as well, which I really like to see in games anyway. Like take Doom 2016, for example. You can play you can play that game on easy mode and still have a really good time with it. You know about because the game's pretty hard anyway, so you can still have the full experience and not be too stressed about it anyway. Anyway, sorry, I digress. The Assassin's Creed Platinum's pretty easy. I'd rate that game about like 3-4 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. It's just a long game with tons to do. On PSN profiles, it's 25%, 25.35% rarity for the Platinum. So I'd say that's just slightly below average for the trophy community. But then it's like 3.4% on PSN, which when I see a Platinum that's like not in the 0 point area of rarity, I think that it's quite an obtainable Platinum, especially with a big game like Assassin's Creed that sells like so many, copies, like loads of copies, and you see a percentage is like 3.4%.
I don't know when I will try. I would play Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, I love. I always been a fan of Assassin's Creed, but I guess it's because of the season pass bothered me a lot.
Why is that?
The season pass because this is season pass on Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, what about it that bothered you?
I know. It's just because I've always been the guy who get this like instinct of doing like, oh, there's the season pass. I would wait the complete edition a year later. But when you Ubisoft, they don't do that much complete edition.
I guess, but you don't need the season pass to enjoy it. I haven't bought the season pass, and I don't really have any interest in the DLC anyway. It's still a massive game. I don't think unless you're by the time you're done with it, like I said, I put 70 hours into this game. I feel I've had my fill of the game. Like it's a really good game. I suppose I could play more DLC if I wanted to, but I feel it's time to move on. And besides, I didn't buy it at launch. I only started playing it like earlier this month, so it's too soon for me to even consider playing more of it above the base game. But yeah, I mean, you don't always need season passes anyway. Usually it's just, cosmetic stuff and then map packs and more levels down the line. But yeah, I suppose you're right. We've had this discussion about complete editions before anyway. We went on quite a discussion about it a good couple of episodes back about being patient. No, it's fine. I'm just referencing that, you're right, you can wait and usually you get a complete edition. But yeah, I suppose now you think about it, I haven't really seen. I don't know. Don't usually Ubisoft season passes go down on the PSN store? Because you see all of their like military games usually are like really cheap and in sales like a year later. I don't know. I always seem to see the. Anyway, what else am I playing? Oh, I'd started Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 today, so it's too early to talk about that. Oh, The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk. That was a sequel to the point and click The Inner World, which I platinumed, I think, last year. I saw it really cheap on the store. It was actually discounted quite a bit, actually. It was like something around £25 down to like, I think around under 10. So I thought, well, definitely going to give that a go. I didn't mind the first one. It's a point and click. It's got like a hand-drawn style animation and like environments. Really nice looking game.
The Laker?
The what, sorry?
Which game you mentioned?
Oh, it's called The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk.
Oh, sorry, I'm told.
It's a sequel to just a game called The Inner World. It just carries on. It carries on a few years after it. This one seemed shorter. It's definitely seemed shorter than the first game for sure because I did it in one evening. I say one evening. I spent like a good 5 hours just playing it basically, but it's doable in one day. Trophies. There's a few missable trophies. I actually messed one up. And I had to replay the whole first chapter again because it's got autosave, and the autosave is just almost constant. It's just basically everything you do just makes the autosave kick in, and there's no manual saving or anything like that in the game. So if you miss a trophy, you're screwed, and you have to play it all over again. But the second time I played it through, it was much quicker because I just skipped all the dialogue, skipped all the cutscenes, and I knew the solutions. So, I recommend it. It's a very easy platinum anyway. And the game's good. It made me laugh a few times as well. It's got some pretty sort of dry humour to it. And it's a very common on PSN profiles as well. 74.45%. So very common. And even on PSN, 27%. So a lot of people have got it. Yeah, that pretty much concludes what I've been playing, and pretty much brings us to our next section.
Before we jump to it,
Go on.
just a minutes ago, I had mentioned I was on the verge of getting the platinum trophy of Evolve, and I actually got it. Probably a few minutes ago, so I just finished the game.
Well, there you go. There's our first live platinum trophy unlock. That's a podcast first.
It's about this platinum is about 1.22% of rarity.
A rare one.
That's a
Wow.
one. That's a rare one. So yeah,
Nice.
God, I'm glad I finished it. It was a long grind.
Oh well, congratulations! Congratulations. Absolutely, a live platinum trophy unlock, live on air. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right then, so let's push on with the news then, shall we? So, Vec, do you want to lead the way and highlight some stories to talk about?
Why, thanks, As. So first thing on the agenda is that we're gonna have Red Dead Redemption 2 coming around in October 26, 2018. I want you guys know what you think about this. Are you guys excited about this?
Sure.
I'm really excited about it.
I could play it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say really excited, but I mean, I'll probably play it when it comes out.
Yeah, I would. That's for sure.
You know, I'm really excited about this game. But I feel like this game is releasing a bit earlier than I expected to.
I expected to come later, to be pushed, to be delayed, because, I mean, the game, we have been close to the game release, and we haven't heard much about the game. So it was like, how can I say? It was like, how can I say? Sorry about words.
You know, looking at the announcement once more, I looked at it says that we apologize to everyone disappointed by this delay. Does it mean that it's gonna be was going to be released like earlier this year? What do you guys know about this?
It was, I think, it was meant to be released in November, I think.
Was it still always going to be winter, or was it going to be summer?
No, it was supposed to be the springtime, I believe.
Springtime.
I think they were trying to release it at the beginning of the year because I think there's supposed to be another game they had slated that was going to be released at the end of the year. Don't quote me on that. I remember reading an article about it, but I guess with that being pushed back, it pushed back all their other projects as well.
Well, I'm never too bothered about delays anyway. I know people get really sort of arsy online about like delays and all of that, and I don't know. It's just there's so many games to play like at all times. It's not like we're starving for content on any platform at the moment.
No,
we're like drowning in games to play. I know people are excited and all that, but I'm excited for a game when it's in front of me. Like I will get Red Dead, of course I will. It's Red Dead. Like everyone praises it back on PS3. It's a no-brainer. Of course we're going to play it. But when I saw it was delayed, I literally felt nothing. Like okay,
me too.
There's so many games between now and then.
I prefer that the game release later, so we expect a more polished and more bigger game. Because I mean, through the game, through trailers and images, screenshots, the game looks gorgeous.
They're probably retooling those loot boxes and microtransactions.
I just hope not.
That Red Dead Online.
Let's hope the Battlefront 2 controversy will calm down, but it doesn't look like the.
Well, I mean, looking at online credits for buying online credits in order to play like the poker games at most, and win those in order to play more.
Literal online gambling. All right then. Well, there's not much more we can say on this. Then that's that.
They can take all the time they want because I expect a quality game.
Oh, this game's going to sell millions. This game's going to sell like a million copies in like the first
millions
24
and
hours.
millions and millions because it's Rockstar. Rockstar doesn't need that much publicity to sell millions of copies. We all know that Rockstar, they are like the master. They are masters when it comes to advertising their game.
Absolutely. All right, Vic, what's next?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So the next article on the list is that the new PS4 firmware update 5.50 has getting system-wide PS4 Pro super sampling, alongside some minor details with the ability to delete all your notifications. What do you guys think about this?
All right.
That's
Well, first
nice.
things first. Let's highlight like the big one here. Even though this is just for PS4 Pro, but the new, at least if you're in the beta program and you've downloaded the beta, look, people have found that the PS4 Pro will now have super sampling, which is basically system-wide super sampling. So there's only a translation from a Polish screenshot on this article I'm reading, and it translates to: super sampling mode allows you to get picture quality comparable with 4K even when connecting PS4 Pro to a TV with a resolution of 2K or below. The effect depends on the game. Not every improvement will be noticeable. In some games, you can also reduce the frame rate per second. Now, I assume that means it can, as in like that's a side effect. I think that may be in the translation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you've got a Pro and you haven't got a 4K television, this is basically going to make your, possibly, should I say, make the image look better. Using the super sampling, you'll have like anti-aliasing and all of that. So you'll have like, your smoother edges and whatnot. So it's beneficial for, a free update. You're getting your games potentially looking better on a 1080p television screen. So that's great. That's really good.
Another ability, another feature is that you can now you can hide content in the purchase section of the library on PS4. So it does mean that you can remove any contents or games that you don't want to see anymore in your purchased section.
Get rid of all of those easy peasy platinum games, huh?
Yeah, or betas, or demos.
The major thing about this is just the ability to delete all your
Yeah.
notifications on the spot for PS Plus. It's something that I
Well, honestly, they were just small features, but I believe that they are far better than the 5.0 update. Honestly.
Yeah, but they're all like quality of life improvements, aren't they? UI improvements, little tweaks. But you used to be able to delete notifications like years ago during like earlier versions of the firmware. But then it just, in a little while ago, they changed it. So now the notifications just always stay there, but you just scroll down them and it removes the little new logo from them, and it doesn't like scroll on the bar on the main UI anymore. But because you could delete notifications. I assume you mean like in the notifications tab on the main menu, right?
Yeah, I mean, sure, but this allows you to delete all of your notifications, and I think it's just one button. So
yeah, I'm sure you back in the like early versions of the firmware, you could delete the notification anyway. You used to go in, press options, and it would be like highlight, and then you just like go. You'd have to go through and delete every individual one, and it was a real chore if you let them build up and build up. You used to be able to delete like screenshot uploads, downloads, completes, update complete. All that kind of stuff used to be in there. Then you have to.
Yeah, it was in different sections. It was all notifications were in different sections, and I preferred this. I preferred this notification menu than when it came out, when it had been changed in the the version 4, and it became just a cluster.
A unified list.
A cluster for unified notification menu. I preferred when it was sorted in different categories, so I knew exactly what to go to check.
I don't mind either way. Whatever improvements and all of that. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next story then.
okay, so next up, we have the PlayStation Plus lineup for February 2018.
Oh yes, of course. The PS Plus new lineup for February. Do tell.
Million Souls Z, Spelunker HD, Grand
Mm.
Kingdom, Exile's End, and Knack, baby!
Oh yes, of course. The meme has come to life.
Oh my gosh, yes. The
All
fun,
those years.
the much ironic thing is that probably 3 of the games I have already owned them. I already have Rim, I already have Knack, and Spelunker HD years ago. So yeah, there's a bunch of games. There's 3 of the games I already owned before he went to PlayStation Plus as free games.
It's not mentioned in the article, but the VR game that came out in January is also coming on February. So if you missed that one, you can actually pick that one as well on that day.
That's something Star Arena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm no interest in Knack because I played Knack 2 and I really liked it, but I don't really want to go back and play the first game. I've already owned Rhyme and played Rhyme, and that's a really good game. Everyone's getting a great game with Rhyme. That's such a good game and really beautiful. Are you pleased to know it's an easy platinum as well? So there we go. Everyone wins. As for the other titles, though, never heard of them, unfortunately. So can't really comment on them.
So for the PS3 side on the things on the PS Plus, we got Mugen Soul C, which is a sequel of Mugen Souls that released almost 2 years ago. It's a strategy RPG, more along the lines of Hyperdimension Petunia and Fairy Fence F, if any of you know that game. And it's basically you play a goddess conquering 12 worlds. Spelunker HD, however, is more akin to the 1985 game called Spelunker, which is also based on Spelunky. And the other ones is Grand Kingdom for the PS Vita. It's a tactical RPG, and Exile's End, which is a game that's not a Metroidvania, but rather a classic game from the early adventure PC games, made with Amiga and Commodore 64 gameplay and 80s animes influence. So, what do you guys think?
So is anyone claiming any of these this month?
What do you mean?
Like, do any of the games interest anyone? Like, other than Rhyme from, like, say, Vec and Punish? Have you played any of this or claiming any of them?
I haven't played any of them, but I can tell. I have for long years ago. I have the Spelunker HD Platinum. I have it. And it's a really challenging game. It's a challenging game. It's kind of this arcade game that any of your moves, bad moves can kill you. Anything the game can kill you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
This sounds like a game that Void would play, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this game is not. It's a manageable platinum, but you can expect some at some levels that you will find some death, like cheap death, like death unfair. But this death you can avoid them. So those little details, anything can kill you. I can tell you. But anyway, so this game you can expect some. Is pretty much challenging. It's manageable, challenging. Sometimes it can be a bit infuriating, frustrating, but it's manageable.
All right.
But still yet, yes, you have the platinum, but the DLCs that come with Spelunker HD are even worse. The level design has been designed to be insanely cruel. For me, the DLCs have been designed by Satan himself. They're unfairly difficult. So unfairly difficult that it's not even fun to play the DLC. So you can if you want guys to play with the trophies with Spelunker HD, you can expect to be at 50 or even below 50% completion if you only get the platinum, the base game, without the DLCs.
All right. Okay. Punish. Did you play Rhyme, or is that something you're going to grab?
No, I haven't played Knack or Rhyme, so I'm definitely going to download those. And I mean, you guys know me; I'm a huge JRPG fan, so I'll definitely be getting the JRPG as well. So I mean, it'll be more games to add onto my backlog. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. I've heard great reviews of Rhyme. That it was a fabulous game. I mean, everybody that I've talked with has actually recommended it. So I'll probably try that one out first before I try out any of the other ones.
Okay, cool. Vec, what's next on the news? Have we got much left?
Yeah, we got a few more. But we have three more.
All right, we'll pick out one more decent one then, and we'll move on.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick lightning round on these news. So, the first one is Counter Spy servers are shutting down on June 1st. That's only one trophy. Paragon servers are shutting down on April 25th. They don't have any trophies at the moment. Are the CEO of Sony, Kaisi Hirai, will be stepping down as CEO, and last but not least, Owlboy is coming to PS4. So, have any of you guys heard of Owlboy?
I haven't
Can't say
played
I
it.
have.
I haven't played it, but when I checked it on Steam and on PC, I was like, oh my god, this game looks so amazing. I would like so much it comes to PS4, and it actually is actually coming on the PS4. So I would be excited. I would be really excited.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've not really looked too much into the game. I know a lot of people are excited for it. What kind of game is it anyway? For like educate me. I'm
It's I think it's a platforming. It's a platforming game.
Yes, it's a puzzle platformer game that you can play on PC.
Okay.
Okay, so I played Owlboy back on PC. It's basically you play as an owl named Otis.
Nice.
That you go around helping around in this floating village on top of the skies, where you have to fend off against pirates with your best friend, which goes into the gameplay. So you basically float around and puzzling around in different areas, avoiding enemies until you meet up with your friend, which allows you to get a blaster of sorts that allows you to attack other enemies. And you pair up and you move around up and down and all around. By the end of it all, it's a wonderful game. I highly recommend if anyone wants to get it. So, up to it.
Okay. All right then. Okay, if that brings us to the end of the news, then Vec, shall we? We should move on then to the old tricky trophies section. Now we're doing a little bit of tweaking to the tricky trophies. Now, before we move on to our own individual tricky trophies, let me just explain. Earlier today, on the day of recording this, we opened up a new channel on our Discord server. Now, as if you're a regular listener to this show, you'll know that we have the tricky trophy section. We go through our old trophies, we pick out the most frustrating ones, and talk about it, anecdotes, etc., etc. But what we've done is we've set up a tricky trophies channel on the Discord so that the listeners, they can submit their own little anecdotes or stories about particularly tricky trophies. And what we'll do is we'll pick a handful of them out each episode and we'll read them out off our own, and just get kind of like a listeners letters sort of type style thing going on. So first of all, let's get our own ones out of the way first. So Punish, what's your tricky trophy?
My tricky trophies, I'm going ahead and go. It's really not a difficult trophy. It was just a really big grind. And again, I'm referencing back through my playthrough through Mass Effect because I want to just go ahead and do this one because it was the first one after I got out of the hospital and everything. But it was it's a terrible grind for people that on here that haven't played Mass Effect. There is a total of 6 team members, and you have to go through a majority of all the missions. Now, if you're thinking about Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3, that doesn't sound like a huge grind. But Mass Effect 1, you had to land on the planet, and then you had to use the Mako to actually drive around the planet and find the resources, and then you had to drive to specific sites and things like that. And that actually made the game a little bit longer. And then just imagine doing like 40 to 50 missions over and over and over and over again. And then also going to when you have to use the engineer class, there is a trophy for using the AI. You are the AI hack specialist. That's the name of the trophy. And you actually have to hack AIs like the Geth and the Geth in Mass Effect 1. There's just the Geth, but it's a very, very grindy trophy because for some of the trophies, like the buyout, the warp specialist, and things like that, you can just find an elevator button and use your powers on that, and then just wait for it to recharge and continuously use it over and over and over again until the trophy pops. But with this one, you have to use it on an enemy, and in the game, there's not a lot of stuff that you can hack. You can hack the Geth and you can hack gun turrets. Well, the Geth, they're very, very rare inside the game. There's only key quests. There's only 1 or 2 key quests where you encounter them, and there's only key quests where you encounter rocket turrets and machine gun turrets. So instead of running around trying to complete all these missions and trying to hopefully hit the required number of hacks that I had to do, I actually found out by reading online that it's the number of times you do it does not go with your save. It's for all your playthroughs. So if you go through an area, hack a certain number of times, you can actually reload the game at the beginning of the mission, go through again, and hack. And you can keep doing that over and over and over again until the trophy pop. Well, this probably saved me a lot of time. So I ended up going on to the lunar base right outside of Mars, and the AI actually had hacked all the gun turrets in the area. And so I stayed in that area. I went through one building, which was there's 10 to 15 gun turrets. I would hack them all, and then I would reload the mission, and then rehack them all, and then reload the mission. I had to do that 4 or 5 times. Actually, I mean, it was a pain in the butt doing it, but eventually the trophy popped, and it was kind of like that kind of relief that you feel after that trophy pops. It's like, okay, I got that out of the way. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
That's good. I prefer the trophies like that where the requirement is across like your save file, so you can just keep reloading a checkpoint or reloading a chapter and doing it rather than, I don't know, having to try and squeeze it all within one beginning to end playthrough. So it's better than having to try.
Oh, exactly. There's another trophy where you have to use 150 metagels. You have to use a total of 150. And so what I was doing through one of the playthroughs was I was wasting my metagel. Like my squad mates had only an inch of health off of them, and I was using it because I thought, you know what, I got to do this all through one playthrough. I have to do through all this through one playthrough. And then when I was doing the engineer trophies, when I pulled it up online, saw that it was across all saves. I'm like, oh, thank God. That means I don't have to keep I don't have to waste my metagel anymore. I can just do it. It's being counted across all the saves.
Sure. So. Good stuff. All right, then. Max, do you have a tricky trophy for this week?
Not truly, honestly.
That's okay.
But yeah, I don't have any particular. I mean, I've been done. I just did Platinum Evolve, and it was a hell of a grind. It was easy, but the grind was real. It took me over 100 hours to do the same things. Not everything the same things, but to grind up all the characters to elite status. I had to complete. I had to fill up challenges so they can reach elite. So you can reach the elite status.
Okay. All right. Well, let's call your on-air platinum tricky trophy for this week. It sounds like you've put a lot of time and grinding into it anyway. So there we go. That could be your tricky trophy for this week. Then, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Fair. That's good. That's convenient anyway. Cool. All right. I guess that leaves me then for the final of our cast tricky trophies. This comes from one of the worst games I think I've played in my memory of at least the last 2 generations, and that'll be the absolutely fabulous Terminator Salvation on PS3. that game is just
Bad.
Trash.
it is garbage.
I just picked it up from GameStop too for a quick trophy.
Oh, you've actually got it recently,
Yeah, I just
and you haven't played it yet. Oh, you're in for a world of hurt.
I won't ever play this game. I won't ever play Terminator Salvation because the game is infamously bad, and the platinum or just golds. That the game has been known from trophy hunters because it had only golds.
Yeah, 12 golds and then the platinum. Anyway, I could pick any of the trophies really, but I'm just going to pick the veteran commander, complete the game, become a commander on hard difficulty. And it's just because the game is so broken. I remember like white hot rage this game causing me because the checkpoint. Firstly, the gameplay is awful. Secondly, the checkpoint system is dreadful. Thirdly, the loading times are insanely long. Like it's the loading times that get me the most because if you're dying over and over and over again, you're spending like 15 minutes of every hour just looking at the same loading screen and then get back into the same point. And it was really horrible. I don't think I've ever been so angry at a game after that since maybe Heavy Rain, trying to get the motorway trophy for Heavy Rain. So actually, I'm not gonna go too much into that because I think I've talked about that before, or perhaps that can be a tricky trophy for another day. But anyway, this game sucks. And yeah, I bought it. I won't deny it. I bought it because easy air quotations, easy platinum. But geez, this game sucks so bad. It could have been much better as well. It had the potential to be good. Like it's a third-person cover-based shooter based on Terminator Salvation, the movie. It's a movie tie-in licensed game, and it could have been good. Like graphically, for the time, it wasn't dreadful, but it's just the gameplay so clunky and horrible. I mean, Christian Bale wouldn't even allow them the rights to use his face in the game, so John Connor's just sort of like a generic shaven head Marine in the game. It's just terrible. So, Punish, I don't envy you buying this game and having it to do this. I'm be curious to know actually in future episodes how you find this game. To be honest, so
okay.
I'll
I'll definitely do that. I'll throw it in for my platinums this week or next week, and I'll definitely talk about it on like one of the next podcast episodes.
Should be interesting to hear. All right, so let's move on to some of the Discord members' Tricky Trophies submissions. So I'm going to read a couple out. I'll read one out, and then we can just like comment on it. This one is from Alos88, and they say, "My trophy horror story is Abstergo Employee of the Month on the PS3 version of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Oh my gosh.
It requires you to go out of your way to every bonus in a single match. No easy feat when you have to rely on both teams being willing to play ball. I'd argue this was almost impossible without boosting, and definitely one of the most stressful trophies in the history of the series. Do yourself a favor and play the PS4 version instead if you can." So,
I agree, but I cannot agree with everyone now. But I had this opportunity. I had this opportunity to play the game, to platinum it at launch.
Oh, so the community was quite alive.
So the community, the servers were alive. The servers were alive, and I played. I did everything legitimately. In that, so there's no wow. I just made legit everything in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood multiplayer, but only the last one, which were the last bonus one, just for one single bonus, which is I think getting 15 different bonuses in a match, right? Yeah, different. Yeah, I know, right? That was the only one I struggled with, and I think it was one of the first. I think it's one of the first games I boosted, so I had to find some guys boost only this bonus to get the platinum.
All right.
But
Okay.
everything else I did legit in multiplayer.
All right. I'll move on to the next one. I'd tell you, we'll just do this. We'll just do this last one, then we'll move on to winding down, because I think we've gone on long enough. So this one is from, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Goodry on the Discord server. This one reads, one that I recall fondly is Rockhound from Infamous 1 on PS3. You need to obtain all 350 blast shards to get it, and will make or break those that want the plat out of patience. It's not exactly hard, but it will make you rip your hairs out. Your radar has terrible radius vertically and horizontally. Using an online map is painful due to how everything looks the same and how they are all clustered together. You'll be double checking over and over and going insane, as well as questioning yourself to find the last ones. Now, I can relate to this one because I've actually mentioned this.
Me too. I spent probably 3 hours to find the last 2 blast shards. Oh my gosh.
No, the game's fine, but it's just the trying to find the collectibles in this game that sucks. We have highlighted it before, and we spoke about how the second game made it a little easier with like being able to ping the radar and find them in your vicinity. So yeah, but I agree, it does really suck in this first game. Okay, well, we'll leave it for there for this week. We have more entries that have been submitted into Tricky Trophies, but we'll save them for another for next week. I don't want to go through too many in one go and use them all up. But thanks for everyone for submitting into the Tricky Trophies channel. Please keep entering your submissions, because it's actually pretty entertaining reading through them and having and discussing them. So just keep giving us plenty of content to talk about, and we'll always let you know when you've been mentioned in the episode. So, guys, we're sort of winding down and rounding off soon. So, is there anyone want to add anything before we go to sign off?
Yep. The community trophy challenge. We started a new month, obviously, guys. So start grinding out your platinums, put them over into the community trophy challenge. That way we can get the list accurate too. And I also will be having January posted up this evening or at the latest tomorrow. So you guys will get a chance to see who was at the top of the year for the beginning of the year. I'm sorry, not the top of the year, but the top of January. Who made the first number one new year. And from what I was doing when I was going through the list, you guys actually grinded out an amazing number of trophies last month. So good job to all of you, and keep at it.
Okay, all right then. If that's everything, we should start rounding off. So let's see where we can all find each other then. So first of all, Max, where can people find you? Are you on social media at all? Are you on Twitter?
No, I have no social media.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough. All right.
You guys can find me on Twitter at staffsergeant_punish.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at @thedazil. So thank you for listening. As always, you can find our episodes on our YouTube channel, The Trophy Trust. Please support us there by subscribing for our future episodes. You can also find updates on our Twitter at The Trophy Trust. In the profile, you can also find a link to the Discord server if you're not a member of it already. If you listen to this, please come and join. You can, like I mentioned, you can join in the Tricky Trophy section and submit yours so we can read it out in the show. And also just join our community in general. You know, we're always growing and always happy to have new members. If you enjoy our show, why not consider supporting us on Patreon? I mentioned it earlier at the beginning of the show. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. We're strictly non-profit. However, server hosting costs need to be paid, and it keeps us on the air, keeps all the episodes up for the listeners. This has been the Trophy Trust. Thank you for listening, and keep on hunting. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.